instantly again. All right, let's watch this ban list prediction. Will it just be floodgate combo crying? That is the question. I'm so sick of people complaining about shifter chat. I really am. Like everyone just like when it comes to I'm just like shut up, man. Just play something different or just deal with it. Can we watch MBT's video? By the way, if you want to learn a little more, here's a shorter version of history. Oh no, I mean I want to.
Steven Spielberg's classic film Munich told the
Why Munich? It was more than you thought. Well, hold on. Is this? Does this give everything? Because like now I just want to watch the movie now. Also, I didn't know the movie was made by Spielberg, which makes it even more interesting. You know what I mean? Thank you. I feel the same way, says Tevin. What about Floodgates? Or I don't just play Floodgate decks though. I play Vanquish Soul. I play Voiceless Voice. But like you don't see me movie night. Like I can't do it tonight, BP. I can't do it tonight. Oh, you mean Shifter? I'm like, yeah. I play Voiceless Voice chat. You don't see me complaining about Shifter. I play Well, I mean, you can argue Vanquish Soul can play Shifter, but like Voiceless Voice doesn't. If I get Shiftered, I get Shiftered. It is what it is. Talk about Shifter. I mean, I just think it's just too much crying at this point. Like just just move on. Like we already did this whole thing about match seeding, All right, let's see what Jib
What's
has
good,
to say.
YouTube? This is JibYGO, and we are back for another video. So with the WCQ season wrapping up, I think it is appropriate for us to do a ban list prediction video. I'm live right now at twitch.tv/jib_YGO.
I guess I gotta put one of these
so
out
say
too.
what's up to the Twitch chat. They are currently here vibing with me, and
No,
we are
Jib just
going to be
braided his
doing
hair.
a ban list prediction. So we've kind of been playing Snake
didn't cut
Eye
it.
for almost 8 months at this point. I think around 8 months at this point. We've been playing Snake Eye. Obviously, we've had different versions going throughout the different formats. We started off with Baron and Savage. Those cards got hit. Then we changed to Plus Amino and 38. And then those kind of got power crept by the Fiendsmith engine, which is probably the best that Snake Eye has ever been. I don't think Snake Eye has ever been better. Even with Baron and Savage, I don't think the deck was better. I think this version of Snake Eye is better. You've cut down on bricks. You have more extenders. You can play
I miss
more
Baron
cards. The
DeFleur,
deck is
chat.
absolutely
I really
tier
do.
0.
I know I said that before, but I don't know. I'm having ban list remorse. I'm missing Baron DeFleur. Fuck Savage Dragon because I like literally never made that card. But I'm having some serious Baron DeFleur regret. Free my queen Baron. Huh? I don't know. Just bring back Baron DeFleur. I see all these combo decks of like Centurion and stuff, and it's like, man, you can't insulate any of these plays. you better pray to God your opponent does not have Nibiru, because if they have it, you're just cooked. I'm a combo player, and Baron is cancer. I like Baron DeFleur. You're not gonna see me complain about that. I mean, she was broken though, but still. Am I saying she was not ban worthy? She's ban worthy. As I've said before, she's the best level 10 synchro monster they're ever gonna make, chat, by a lot.
I think we know that we're getting a ban list next month. Konami tweeted about it at the end of August, so after YC is Sacramento,
You mean this
most likely we are going to be getting a new limited and forbidden list. So these are the changes that, in my opinion, I think should happen on the next Infinite.
Okay, so he's doing a should list.
So for the first card that I think should be moving from 3 to forbidden, it was only played at 1, but I think that
he's saying this card's going from 3 to banned, and it's only so he's not saying skill drain. I think he's saying original Snake Eye, chat, because skill drain's played at I think he's going OSS, which I feel like Jib specifically told me, oh, you can't ban OSS because it kills the deck. Because I was at Flamebird. Yeah, but people played, some people played 2 Flamebirds at one point. They only play it at 1 now, but they played 2 at one point.
I think original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye should be forbidden. So I know some people, some people think that the card that should be banned is Flamber's Dragon. And while I do agree that Flamber's Dragon is a ridiculous card, I do think that if you ban Flamber's Dragon, you will completely kill the Snake Eye deck. As far as from what my
I mean, I would argue, Chad, that that's like fine at this point, right? Like, is it fine? It's I'm generally against killing a deck, but that's fine. Like you just said, you just began the video by saying we had 8 months of this deck. That's more than enough. It's like how I think that tier should be made unplayable. Even to this point, Chad, it's like, yo, hit like 4 more cards. Once you have a run that's this long and dominant, we can kill you.
Understanding of Snake Eye is from the months and months that I've been playing it.
Yeah, they exactly. They got their time in the
Flamberge
sun.
Dragon kills Snake Eye completely. I don't think that Snake Eye is very playable without Flamberge Dragon. Flamberge Dragon is the big payoff for playing all these little monsters that climb into Flamberge and then allow you to link climb and link climb. I think that another way that they can go about weakening Snake Eye significantly is banning Original. So if you think about it, if you ban Original, then 3 Wanted, 3 Witch become cards that you probably wouldn't want to play anymore. Poplar loses a lot of its power also, only really being able to search cards like Dramatic Chase or the Field Spell.
That Field
Which I
Spell's
don't even think
good.
you'd play Dramatic Chase because you probably wouldn't play Witch in your deck anymore. If Witch can't set Original, then Witch isn't a starter card, so the deck automatically loses 6 starter cards. Also, cards like, for the Fiendsmith part of the Snake Eye deck, cards like Beatrice, being able to send Original to extend your play when you get hand trapped, that's no longer a possibility. So cards like Necroquip also get a lot weaker in the Snake Eye deck because you're not able to really extend. You're not able to always extend your plays with Original anymore. I think that Original is a pretty good hit.
One word answer, chat. Is this enough? To me, this just doesn't feel like enough. This like super does. If this is the only like Snake Eye, this just does not. Like if he says, oh, no Beatrice and no other Apollo, like this 100% does not feel like enough. Because he's making the argument, excuse me, that you probably won't play the Sinful Spoils engine anymore. That's fine, but the Fiendsmith engine is more powerful than that engine anyways. So this is just not enough. Logan lost. Logan Paul, like the wrestler. What other Logan are we talking about?
I think that Snake Eye would still probably be playable. It would definitely, the deck would look a lot different than how it looks right now without Witches and Wanteds. Wanted is another insane card, being a Rhoda, also giving you a random draw, allowing the deck to have draw power. It's actually pretty ignorant. Original is also a big part of the deck's follow-up. You know, having Original in the graveyard, being able to banish it in order to search a Snake Eye card on your follow-up turn. I think that banning Original does a lot.
Oh, I guess he
weaken
lost
the
to
Snake
LA
Eye deck,
Knight.
and I think that if I was in charge of the ban list, this is the approach that I would go to try
He's
to
been champ for a long
hit the
time.
Snake Eye deck, would be banning Original. Another card that I think should be banned on the upcoming ban list is Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Beatrice is a card that has always been kind of suspect. Any card that is generically accessible that allows you to send a card from any card from your deck to the graveyard is always a card that you should be looking at that has the potential to be banned. Cards like Lavavo Chain have been banned in the past. Foolish Barrel is limited, etc., etc. And Beatrice now
Foolish
being
Burial
able to send
Goods.
cards like Blue Tears of the Angel in order to set cards like Different Dimension Ground, DDG, being able to send Transaction Rollback with Maikashi, Ghost Meets Girl. Like, it does a lot of ignorant things. And it's a card that probably should have been banned since Tier Element format. But I think now, with it being widely playable inside of all of the Fiendsmith decks having wide access to Beatrice, I think that it's finally time for Beatrice to be banned. There are a couple more cards that I think that should be banned. Another card that I think should be banned is Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. I think that Gimmick Puppet Nightmare should 100% be banned on the next ban list. And in order to be a hit on Branded, it's a card that is easily accessible with Granganol in order to dump, in order to puppet lock your opponent. And I know that some people are going to say, well, if you ban Gimme Puppet Nightmare, then people will just play Eidos. I think that the other card should be banned to Eidos. I don't chat. Could you guys tell me the name so I can type it up? I don't know.
Okay, hold on. Now we're banning like multiple cards, chat, to keep Albion not banned. I feel like we're doing now you're doing too much. When you have to ban like 3 cards instead of banning another card, then that other card is the issue. Now you're you get into like Halko Fibrax territory where you're banning these random cards that never are that aren't really seeing a lot of play just to keep this other card legal. I know it's late, but I don't think they're banning OSS because they want to push Azumina. I have not read I know what those are. BP, I know this is the next archetype in the Diabella Star Sinful Spoil storyline. I haven't read a single one of them. I just know that they're essentially the White Woods cards, right? They're the like witches in the story, or maybe they aren't witches at first, but they become witches. But I know it's like the demon ladies. Yeah. I haven't actually seen them, or I haven't read them yet, so I have like no idea what they do. It's Snake Eyes support. I think the lock is way more gimmicky without Granganol.
Exact name of the card.
Ban Granganol then.
But it's a level 8 light monster that it has a very similar effect to Gimmick Poet and Nightmare. It's another Ido. I think that Ido the Supreme Magical Force. I think that this card should also be banned. I think that they're gonna.
I've seen that card before.
They just recently did this in Master Duel. And I think that they're going to do this in the TCG. Instead of banning Sanctifier, which is an interesting card for the Despia deck.
I do agree with that.
It's kind of the big boss monster for Despia next to Mirror Jade. Being able to give your opponent a monster, summon back an Albaz to your board in order to fuse with the two monsters to advance your plays.
That's what I just said. I said this is like how...
Is cool. I don't want to necessarily take that away from Branded. I think without the puppet lock or some weird form of lock, then... Despia is fine as a deck. I know that some people will say a card like Orthos is also another card that is among these lock type.
Hold on. I was told that Ra's Disciple also let you lock, chat. Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Ra's Disciple, when this card is summoned, you can special summon up to 2 Ra's Disciples from your hand and or deck. Cannot be tributed except the tribute. You cannot special summon monsters except by the effect. Okay, yeah, this one works. So I'm like, I don't see the locking. So these other cards can't be sent off Granganir or Granganoil. However, they still, if you get them in the graveyard, you can still technically lock. That's like
cards, but the issue
you just can't send them with
is that
Granganol.
Orthos cannot be grabbed off of the Granganol. You would have to send Orthos off of your Branded Fusion, which definitely limits the power of Branded Fusion, because if you want to go for a quote-unquote lock, your Branded Fusion is kind of forced in order to go into Lubellion in order to put the Orthos in the graveyard, and then it makes hand traps on the Lubellion, and hand traps just a lot more effective on this part of...
I don't like this argument though, chat, because you're saying that the plays become like weaker or more susceptible, but like that's what says is like you're saying that the plays become like weaker or more susceptible to hand traps, but the end result is if those other things don't happen, it's still the same end result. Like you still just win the game. It's like, all right, you put your opponent on, you better have a hand trap. Oh, you didn't have a hand trap? Cool, you just lose the game. It's still the same exact result as Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. So like I don't think this is a good argument. Where it's just like, ban Albion and you can just get rid of it completely. And again, I like Albion. I think Albion's a really cool card. Maybe they shouldn't have made him have targeting protection, but because that feels a little random, to be honest. But I don't know. That just feels like a bad argument to make.
Of the engine,
Why would you lock someone into Fiends? Oh, is that what the DDD does? Okay, I didn't know. I've never like read this DDD card.
And Fusion to go into Albion, but being forced to go into Lubellion and having a brick in your deck, I think that's a lot more manageable than being able to use your Branded Fusion in order to do Albion, which really pushes the boundaries of what fusion summoning multiple times, and then having Granganol as your backup in order to get to your lock. I think that that's ignorant, and I think that should be removed.
Because this just feels like we're doing a lot of work to get rid of one card.
The last card that I think should be banned on the upcoming ban list is
Appaloosa?
I think that Dimensional Shifter should also be banned.
Oh my God.
I think that this card has been in the game since 2019.
Bruh, you can't like the bias. You can't even like look at his face. Combo players can't even say this with a straight face, chat. They're just like, I still want to be doing like Appaloosa and Fiendsmith combos and stuff. Like, they can't even say this with like a straight face. Like, we didn't ban Appaloosa, really? We didn't ban Appaloosa.
At first, it wasn't really seeing too much play. It gradually gained more and more population or pop.
Master Duel's ban list will be the barometer to see if we need to nuke Albion or not. Master Duel, we having so many ban list chat, I can't keep up.
Popularity with decks like Flunderies. Flunderies really made me hate this card, but the card in Tempai is extremely ignorant, which is another deck that we're going to talk about soon. Decks like Ritual Beast are able to get second place at events because of this card just single-handedly carrying it.
Oh my god. Oh, this argument is so bad. So if Ritual Beast doesn't randomly get second place, then Shifter's fine. Like I hate this. This argument is so bad. Ban Protos. I think this argument is so bad. I think Shifter when in Tempai hurts your plays because the deck has like 8. I said this all like last week. The deck has like 10 Monster Reborns chat in its monsters. Why would you you cut all of that off just to stop your opponent? Tempai is not playing Shifter because they want to. They're playing Shifter because they have to, chat. If Max C was in the format, they'd probably play Max C and not play Shifter. You know what I mean? Because it'd be like the same result. Why are you stunning me? Shifter is terrible for the game, but my Appo cannot be banned because I need it. I've asked people 1,000 times, chat. How can we put the graveyard in check? Other than just saying, Cap, open 5 Bestials, please. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been, other than Kashtira, I want to say that the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat for the last, 3 years straight has been, graveyard. Kashtira was, the one exception is, yeah, we don't really care about the graveyard. We banish things. I don't know if Shifter should be banned, but I wouldn't miss it. The problem with Shifter being banned, BP, and why I would, it stands for if you, Shifter is the last remnant of keeping these fucking combo decks in check. And if you ban Shifter, then just have nothing but combo as meta then. Just basically say that all you want is combo to be meta. And I can just not take Yu-Gi-Oh! Or competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Seriously anymore. Malcharmy too. Exactly. Why are they making these Malcharmy cards, chat? Why are they specifically designing these cards to try to these cards that are directly targeted towards combo decks? You can argue that the first one, Perulia, is not, but the second one definitely is, chat, because it targets the extra deck. People will go plus 17 discarding 1 engraver, but will bitch about Shifter does. That's my argument. And I don't like the counter argument of, well, people don't like Engraver too. Engraver is just a symptom of the problem, chat. If it's Fiendsmith now, next year it will be a different theme. Can we agree on that, chat? That it's just Fiendsmith now, but next year something better than Fiendsmith is coming. That's how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works, chat. That's how Power Creep works. In 2022, it was Adventurer. Then last year, it was Sinful Spoils. Now it's Fiendsmith. It's just going to be something different next year. And it's going to be another deck that, you activate 1 card and you do, 20 fucking steps. And people were like, but Shifter is the problem. No, Shifter is literally the only Band-Aid keeping, allowing shitty decks like Ritual Beast to have a hope of topping. So, I don't know. Whenever I hear people talk about Shifter, it just feels like sour grapes from a combo player. And I just can't take it seriously.
Dimensional Shifter should be removed from the game. Other cards that I see people talk about thinking that should be banned are cards like IP Masquerena and Appaloosa Ball of the Goddess. While I think that these cards are extremely, extremely powerful, I do not think that these cards should be banned.
Why?
Appaloosa is arguable. I think IP is no real reason why I think IP should be banned. But Appaloosa, I think potentially can be banned. I wouldn't be surprised if it got banned, but in my opinion, I don't think it should be banned. I think that going first combo decks, you should have a payoff for your combos. And I think Appaloosa is a good payoff. And usually Appaloosa isn't.
I'm confused. Is Jib arguing that like without Appaloosa, there's no other disruptions in Yu-Gi-Oh? Like there's no other, because what I don't like is just these generic cards, because I thought that's why we got rid of Baron and Savage chat, is that they're these just generic brain dead cards that's like, oh well, you can play them in Super Heavy Samurai and Dragon Link and Tier Elements for some reason, even though it's not supposed to be a synchro deck. Fuck it, just throw them in Tier Elements. Oh, play them in Snake Eye too. That's not a synchro deck either, but why not? Like I thought that was the whole reason why we wanted to get rid of these cards, chat, is because you can put them interchangeably. That's not a word, I don't think. You could just make them in like every deck. That's the whole reason I thought we wanted to get rid of them. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm tripping. For 2025 Nats, Fiendsmith will be in Megatons. Oh, I actually forgot about that. And already invalidated by some new deck that people will complain about is too much money. Appo is way too generic to be a combo payoff. That's what I'm saying, bro. Combo players are like not objective. They can only look at things through the lens of, if I don't combo, the game is not fun. And even though you guys can say that I'm a stun player, I don't look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Through that lens. I look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Through the lens of like, oh, I got Feather Duster? Fuck. Well, is what it is. You know what I mean? Or I look at through the lens of like, oh, well, maybe I won't play stun. Maybe I'll play shitty Vanquish Soul or shitty Voiceless Voice. But combo players, like, they have combo brain, chat. They can't look at the game outside of like me combo or game trash. That's all I'm saying. Jib is in the minority, by the way, which is even. I really wanted to hear him defend Appaloosa, because I'm like, oh, you don't think Appaloosa should be banned? Like, okay, defend that. The defense is not good. This is a defense that would lose you any court battle, any legal battle.
Too much of an issue to deal with.
Nice, bro. Here's the thing. Here's the difference, chat. I have already mentally accepted that Skill Drain will get hit. Now, I hope Skill Drain won't get banned, chat. But that's the thing. Like, you guys don't understand. In my mind, chat, Skill Drain is already at 1. The players, Skill Drain's already going to get, even though I believe Jesse Cotton's right that Skill Drain shouldn't get hit, the players of our Skill Drain's impact, chat, the players have already got that shit hit in my mind. Like, Skill Drain has been way too popular. It's more popular now, chat, than it has been in like the last 5 years. Like, in my mind, Skill Drain's already at 1. So like, I don't even be thinking about Skill Drain. That card's already hit at this point.
Issue comes in the form of Snake Eye.
Honest question, would you say that players that open shifter win a higher percentage of the time than players who open Snake Eye Ash? No. Because Snake Eye Ash is like, okay, I guess it's a little different, BP. Hold on. I guess maybe not, because it's a little different, because Snake Eye Ash, if the card resolves, to me, there's very little chance of you losing the game, right? And yes, Snake Eye Ash can be hand trapped with a bunch of hand traps, and like, there's not really much hand trapping against Dimensional Shifter. But I would want to say, like, what has the higher winning percentage of if it resolves? Like, I would argue it's Snake Eye Ash. Do you think that players with Shifter win more than 50% of the time? Yeah, probably. But I think there should be payoff for the card. The payoff, like, does the card have downsides? If you draw Shifter, chat, as your 7th card, is it dead for the entire game? Like, yes. Do you also not get to have a graveyard for the entire game? Which you guys, some people might say, oh, Cap, that doesn't matter. Yeah, it does fucking matter. Not being able to use Raka Vanquisher for 2 turns kind of matters. You know, in Tenpai, not being able to use one of my 5 Monster Reborns kind of matters. Like, it only doesn't matter, chat, in a very, very, very few decks. Like, Cash Tira, Fluwandereeds, and Ritual Beast. Because those decks literally do not care about the graveyard at all. There are no monster, well, Cash kind of has a Monster Reborn, but it also summons from Banish. Like, those decks do not care about the graveyard one fucking bit, but they were designed to not care about the graveyard. That's my point. I just want to open Ash and just win the YCS off of that.
When you have an Appaloosa and then you have an IP to protect it, so you can't even like really go to battle phase to force it. And we're in a very specific format where you want to use your battle phase to OTK your opponent, and playing in main phase 2 isn't really a thing right now because of the follow-up that Snake Eye has. But I think with this ban list and with certain hits that we do,
that sounds like something that needs to be addressed, by the way. If you're saying that playing in main phase 2 is like not even a viable option because we have a tier 0 deck that limits that, it kind of sounds like we should address the tier 0 deck that has warped the game in a negative way. So he's arguing against them. I don't know what the fuck Jib's talking about, Selza. He just said that Snake Eye has made playing in main phase 2 basically obsolete. Like, that's not a viable way to like win a duel, right? So the tier 0 deck that has warped the game in this negative way, shouldn't that be number one? Like, shouldn't that be priority number 1? Is like getting this deck out of the game so that players can play in main phase 2? There's a main phase 2. I mean, when Dark Strike Fighter was out, main phase 2 was fucking nuts, bro. That was crazy. When Dark Strike Fighter was out, chat, main phase 2 was as good as the battle phase. You tack twice and just launch everything for game. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm reminiscing.
To the decks, I think Appaloosa becomes a lot more of a manageable card. I think in the past, Appaloosa has existed and it wasn't necessarily an issue. And I think we can get to a point where it's like that again.
Okay, I guess.
So I think that's it for the ban section.
We're just not playing monster effects.
You guys can comment below, and chat can tell me if there's other cards that they think.
I was yapping. I was.
For the limited section,
skill drain.
I think that the first card that I think should be limited is Sanguine Summoning. I think that Sanguine Summoning is a crazy card. It's insane card design. It's midfield breaker on crack. This card, it's actually a ridiculous card. This card should not exist. I think that this card actually just warps the game. When your opponent activates it, it pretty much always demands an immediate response. If your opponent can't deal with this card going second, Tempai feels unbeatable in a certain situation. It turns off hand traps. It searches a card, and then it does the random double attack thing in order to push the damage over the top.
I don't even know how relevant. I gotta be honest. When you watch Tempai play, chat, I feel like that effect is like not even that relevant, right? The double attack. Like I think early when people didn't know how to play Tempai that well, the double attack, like Trident for games, like don't even really use that much. You know what I mean? We should just make I said that a long time ago.
Yeah, I think this card should definitely be going to 1 on the next ban list as a hit to Tempai. Same with a card like Pot of Prosperity. I think Pot of Prosperity is a card that should have went to 1 a couple of ban lists ago and is still at 3. But I think that Pot of Prosperity, being able to search any card in the game, search any card in your deck, is actually an issue. And it should 100% go to 1 on the next ban list. I think that's a general hit to a lot of decks that kind of rely on Pot of Prosperity in order to get that extra boost of consistency. And then also, I think post-side Pot of Prosperity gets even more ignorant, being able to search floodgates that you're siding into.
I'm kind of whatever on Pot of Prosperity. I'm on Pot of Prosperity where BP is on Shifter. Like if it gets hit, it's like okay, I'm kind of okay with it, but I'm really not gonna argue for Pot of Prosperity to get hit. Couple formats ago, chat, I 100% would have been on that. Get Prosperity. Like now, I don't know. Like combo, I feel like the game is a little different, chat. Like it's different when we were in like Cash meta where Cash was using Prosperity they were using like the pop builds, but I don't know, most of your meta decks, at least since the Year of Fire, like they don't even want to play Prosperity anymore, chat. All these Sinful feels like a necessary, they don't want to play Prosperity, like you don't see a Snake Eye player being like, all right, Pot of Prosperity, like you don't play this card. This is more of like the rogue decks that play this shit. So the
next card that I think should be hit to 1 is talking about Floodgates of Skill Drain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just going down the list of Floodgates. So on the last list, they banned Summon Limit. They limited all the other floodgates except for Skill Drain. And then guess what happened?
Anti-spell?
Everyone just started playing 3 copies of Skill Drain because it was the last floodgate at 3. Skill Drain should be limited.
We will see Dragon's Bind. We will see Dragon's Bind limited, chat. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. These anti-floodgaters, it starts with Skill Drain, but it ends with Dragon's Bind, chat. They won't stop until they take our Dragon's Bind.
This card, being able to turn off your own Skill Drain is kind of crazy. It's very similar to what people were doing with cards like Vanity's Emptiness and DDD back in 2017, I believe, where you would just like Siegfried your own Vanity's Emptiness on your turn and then just play again.
By the way, I'm not going to rehash this, chat. So the argument that Jib is making, chat, is not the problem. It's just like a symptom of the problem. Jesse already kind of dismantled this argument, Jesse Cotton, of what is the problem with Skill Drain? Is the problem that it turns off all effects, or is the problem that you can turn off the Skill Drain? Because turning off the Skill Drain is only something that you can reliably do right now because of the Snake Eye deck. If there was no Snake Eye deck, once you flipped over Skill Drain, you're locked in here with me too. Like that was Jesse's argument, chat, of like Skill Drain's not a problem. It's a symptom of Skill Drain looks like it's a problem, but it's just a symptom of the problem because Snake Eye exists right now. Because if you didn't have Black Witch, OSS, Oak, Ash, and all these other bullshit cards that could send it to the graveyard, you'd be stuck with your own fucking Skill Drain too, and it wouldn't look so good. And Jib's not, I don't know. It sounds like Jib's just kind of making the argument of like, oh, well, turning your own Skill Drain off is a problem. It's like, yeah, probably because the Snake Eye deck's a problem. Anyways, White Forest can also do it. But, I don't know, that deck sucks. Maybe it doesn't suck. I don't know.
Yeah, being able to turn off your own floodgates whenever you want is an issue. And I think that Skill Drain should be limited with the rest of the floodgates. I like what Konami was doing, limiting all the floodgates. I think that limiting Skill Drain is also a hit to Runic Stun. Someone in my chat just mentioned Runic Stun. I think that limiting Skill Drain is a huge hit to Runic Stun. Because I feel like the games you lose to Runic Stun isn't because of the Runic cards. It isn't even really because of a card like Synchro Zone, which is another floodgate that they're playing in order to stop you from attacking. I think it's Skill Drain not allowing you to play along with the other floodgates. Like, there can only be one rival.
What are y'all... People just learning this, that Skill Drain's the best card in Runic Stun? What? Synchro Zone wouldn't do anything if you could just SP remove it and then kill them the next turn. You know what I mean? Like, duh. Skill Drain is always the best. Skill Drain's always been the best card in Runic Stun. Slightly better than Rivalry. Actually, Rivalry is probably a little better.
But I think that limiting Skill Drain definitely hurts that deck. Another card that I think should probably go to 1 on the next ban list is Crossout Designator. I think that Crossout Designator should be at 1.
Yeah, we've come full circle on this card.
Triple Tactical Talents. I know that these cards have been at 3 for a while, but I think going first, like these generic going first cards that we have right now that are just like complete blowouts that are at 3 should not exist. I think that a way to hit going first in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is to hit the floodgates that we're grabbing to back up our combo, and then hit consistency cards like Prosperity, and then hit the broken blowout spells. I think Crossout and Tactics have had their time at 3. They've seen insane amount of play, and I think they're cards that when dropped, you kind of lose the game immediately.
I do agree with this point, chat. Not necessarily sure about Crossout Designator, but I really don't understand why I deserve to lose the game because I had the audacity to Effect Veiler one of your monsters. Like, you deserve to look at my entire hand and be like, get that card out of here. Just because I had the audacity to play hand traps, which everyone is telling me I have to play, by the way. So I have to play these hand traps and open with 3 of them, but then as soon as I hand trap you, I instantly lose the talents. Like, I don't know. It's why. And then everyone says that they hate the hand traps, chat, that you can use outside of the main phase. all the hand traps that I can use outside of the main phase, like Spooky Dogwood, Mulcharmy, Maxi, and Shifter, everyone wants those cards banned. So like, how am I to play around talents, chat? All the hand traps that I can just shotgun, like the Shifters and the Mulcharmies and the Spooky, people want to ban them. So I have to play in the main phase, right? And then when I play in the main phase, I get talented, then I lose. It's like, all right, cool. Just how the fuck am I supposed to play this shitty game? You should have just played better. Cool. Don't defend yourself. Like, how am I supposed to play? Just fucking don't defend yourself. Just win every die roll, ever.
I think everyone has experience.
Dominus. There you go. There you go, chat. Press 1 if just play the Dominus cards and don't play any monsters in your deck, because you won't be able to use any monster effects except the what's that type, chat? Divine. Attribute. You won't be able to use any attributes because you've used the Dominus cards, so monster effects are pretty much donezo unless it's divine attribute. You just have to use Dominus cards. Just play trap monsters. Hold on. I saw this deck, and I know you guys are gonna hate this. I thought this was the coolest thing ever. Hold on. Ignore this, by the way. I'm sorry. I bookmarked Centurion Primera. Hey, I didn't draw it, chat, so don't call me a coomer. I didn't draw, but I definitely bookmarked. I'm sorry. I'm in love with Centurion Primera. I saw this deck. I thought this was so cool, chat. So it's Shifter, Maxi, which I would assume would just be Mulcharmy, and it's a Spiral Phantasm. She's not 12. She has a robot suit. What are you talking about? No 12-year-old has a robot suit. Yeah, it's like Spiral Phantasm, chat, and you play 6 Dominus cards because obviously you don't need monster effects when only your only monster is like vanillas and stuff like that. And I saw this and I was like, this is so cool. So I don't know. Cap G might play. I mean, we don't have summon limit in TCG, but this could just be a second skill drain. Assuming skill drain's probably gonna get limited, so I don't know what I'll change this to. But what's it called? What's the win con? What do you mean? So Dolan, this card Pacifist, it gives you tokens. Yeah, the win con, you just beat the shit out of your opponent with a 2,000 monster. It's a stun deck, so like your opponent's not really doing a lot. But if you're wondering, like, okay, what if your opponent just summons like one powerful monster? This pops any monster, and this negates any monster and takes its attack down to 0. The field spell gives you these cards for free. If you're wondering like how it kind of works, this card gives you these cards, and it also gives you a token. And then you play this card. I didn't even know what this card was, chat. I was like, what is this card? Is this some OC? It's apparently an adventure card, but like we never played it. That's the answer. Yeah. You, what's it called? You use these cards. The field spell like is the entire deck, but the field spell really only works when your opponent does something. Your opponent has to activate a card or effect. But you can also trigger the field spell by summoning a normal monster. If you don't have, I think, a normal monster on field. So you can either summon this guy, the Megalo Smasher X, or you can just summon an adventure token. So that's like, what's it called? You play a bunch of hand traps, chat, but you play like the Dominus cards because you don't need monster effects because there are none. I was like, this deck is cool. So yeah. And Centurion Primera is not 12, chat. She's a grown-up with a robot suit.
Normal summoning a card, you using your hand trap and them chaining a cross out, and then it's like, okay, this game is over. Or you hand trapping your opponent and then they're going tactics to look at your hand, and the game just ending.
Yep.
I think that these cards are not very good for the game, and they are either at 3 or at 1 working their way to 0, and I think that we can experiment with them working their way to 0. So I think that is it for the cards that I would want to limit.
Just doesn't feel like
I think the rest of the list really doesn't matter. Semi-limit and unlimit really doesn't matter. There are obviously cards that are on the ban list.
I bet you bookmarked Anime Night's pinned tweets. I follow Anime Night on Twitter, but no. Hey, Roman Reigns came back. Hold up.
Oh,
Wait a minute. This summer, yeah, this must be SummerSlam. Catch us!
Is he? He's here! He's here! He's here! Roman Reigns is here!
GTC. Wait, OTC?
Yes, he is!
What does that mean, chat? Looks good too.
Roman Reigns is
He's so hot.
for the first time since losing his crown.
Oh, original tribal chief. Original tribal chief.
Is Roman Reigns here? Who is Roman Reigns here for? Roman Reigns is here for the man who's defeated him.
No, I'm gonna say he's there to beat up Soa Sakura.
Values most. I mean,
Off
maybe
the chain.
Roman could be
Nah, this ain't the 90s.
Solo Sikoa, the man who's been walking around saying he's the new Roman Reigns. He's the head of the table. He's the tribal chief.
Are we watching Logan? Super zesty. This stream was already supposed to be over, by the way.
A lot of ones to the sky in Cleveland.
Damn, that's a long, what's it called? Runway chat.
Into the ring, Solo
Oh!
Sikoa.
Those are some, I think they're cousins. They're cousins, chat.
The revival of the Roman Empire with a spear.
100,000 plus aura. I don't know. What is it? What is it about wrestling, chat, that can make you occasionally just feel like a little kid again? It does for me. Dude wins $500,000 on sports betting. Casino refuses to pay him out.
Okay, cool. This is gonna cost you way more. I'm acting like an asshole. Y'all are not paying me out. I can speak to your. Cool. I'll speak to your lawyer. Y'all posted my ticket on your Instagram pages. Well, I spoke with Jerome multiple times. Y'all would not pay.
I mean, this is the right way to handle it, Chad. The right way to handle it is not to fight anyone. It's not. Oh my god, I can't spell. Anime night. Yeah, the right way to handle it is don't fight anyone. If you want to make a video saying I'm gonna that's how you handle it. Usually, what's it called? And usually these companies, if you're in the right, they'll roll over, chat. You know what I mean? Like, look, I'm not saying you guys should do this, but as someone who has done this very, very seldomly, chat, you would be surprised how different people's attitudes are when you either tell them you're going to sue them or when you actually do sue them, chat. I have threatened to sue, I want to say 3 people now, and 2 of them instantly rolled over. Chat, seriously. 2 of them instantly. Wait, what? Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Anime night. Why would you have me go? Who posted that? Dolan, was that you? Get off AK. I didn't know he had that on. I don't go to Anime Night's Twitter. I'm scared of getting sued. I did not. I'm gonna sue you. Press 1 if you're going to sue Cap now for having to look at that. Anyways. Yeah, we're not gonna go to Anime Night's Twitter anymore, Twitch chat. Unfollow him? No, I'm still gonna follow Anime Night. Cause he's my friend. He's my Nakamana? Whatever it is that they say.
I can come off cards like plus.
What's up, PBB? Wait, is this yours or BP's? I'm about to say this looks kind of like. Hold on. Same list? Oh, it is different. Well, hold on. Let me see which. Wait, no, this is the same thing. No. Okay. It's different. This is BP's. This is PBB's. Wait, PBB, if you banned Albion, why'd you ban 2 more cards on top of it? If you banned Albion. I don't understand bringing this card back at all. Tempest Magician. Like the only reason to play this card is just the FTK, because the only functional purpose she has is just burn. It's just a burn damage card. This is like wishful thinking PBB, but I'm just, oh my god, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Are you trying to trigger me, PBB? You want fucking Red Reboot back in the game? For what reason? What I was going to say is I don't see them hitting multiple Fiendsmith cards, especially now. As Fox said earlier, I mean, they still gotta reprint these. They gotta reprint these things. You know, you gotta sell them, especially this guy. And they have more. Fiendsmith is not a one-off, chat. Like there's more Fiendsmith cards coming out. We already know that in Rage of the Abyss. Some interesting things, like I think Premature Burial would be kind of cool to unban, chat, to be honest. If you want to search this card, you have to jump through hoops. Like I think you can't normal summon if you use what's the card? They used to call it Arms Hole in the OCG. Not Supply Squad, chat. What's the name of the card that searches any equipped spell? Supply something. Hidden Armory. I'm sorry, Hidden Armory. Yeah, Hidden Armory. If you want to go Hidden Armory, chat, you have to give up your normal summon, and not like Adventurer normal summon where you don't get the effect. It's normal summon. I mean, maybe you can argue that Pendulum decks and shit don't need normal summons, but I don't think the payoff is there, to be honest. Mirage of Nightmare is probably just too damn. I mean, it does say draw 4 cards. You know what I mean? Could people play this, chat? Forget about how we used to destroy this card with like MST, but could people just play this with like, you know, Borreload Furious Dragon, where you just pop it with like monster effect? Like probably. So, you know. But I think Masterpiece would be cool. I think that Premature Burial would be cool. You guys know where I stand on Shifter. I think it's just combo players whining. I think this card does not need to go higher for any reason at all. And then these are all fine. I mean, this probably makes Runic Stun way better, by the way. Like you don't even know PvP. 1 day a piece in Runic Stun is insane because you cannot lose when you activate it, and you get the draw. And you don't care about your opponent drawing. You actually want them to draw because you're decking them out. So, and you didn't hit skill drain, which is interesting. So Runic Stun would be like way better under this list. And for the BP list, okay, I like your bans. I personally would not ban this card because it's only good in Centurion, and that's like the only deck that can play it. Now, Centurion after Rage of the Abyss, I think probably this card should be banned, chat, because Centurion just saw a huge spike in play, chat, from Rage of the Abyss, where obviously they got more support cards. But like the OCG, they love Centurion. Like they like Centurion, chat, as much as Cap G likes Centurion Primera. They're like me. They really like that archetype. How can you guys not see the cuteness of that card? Seriously. Anyways, the rest of these, yeah, I think I could see all of this. I mean, these two got errata. This card, I think, is an OCG. This one is an OCG. I could see all of this happening. I think that Runic Fountain does need to be hit. I kind of like this card, chat. Miscellaneous Source. Everyone just says, "Oh, I can't interact," and I can't interact cards should all be banned, but whatever. Yeah, I think that this is pretty reasonable. I think that this is all pretty reasonable. And then you have all the Dragon Rulers, Into the Void. I'd like to see Sekka's Light. And you unban 4 cards. Yeah, you unban 4 cards. This card has been completely forgotten about, chat. If you Luna Light Tiger is a crazy powerful card, but if you want to play Luna Lights, you know, fucking God bless. What about Zemighty? I mean, I'd like to see Masterpiece. I'd like to see Wind Up Carriers Zemighty, but TCG, I don't know. They got something against Wind Up Carriers Zemighty, I guess, chat, I guess. 2-card, yeah, exactly. Well, I play a 2-card combo deck where you can just play a 1-card combo deck.
Fire.
But, I mean, Lunalights would undoubtedly play Fiendsmith, but it is still the concept of like, why play a 2-card combo deck when you could just play a 1-card combo deck? And even though these are 1-card combo decks, chat, like I still would like to see Mathmech Circular unbanned, and I would also like to see Prank Kids Meow Mew get unbanned too. That's just me personally.
Is at 0. I think it can go to 1. I think we can also start
go to 1. This card is fucking terrible. This card got errated. It's a hard once per turn. Now, this card could go to 50 copies and Pendulums would still suck. This card did not need to be errated, chat.
Dangers up on the list.
What's AK's Twitter? You don't want to see it, but just search Anime Night 99. I think that's his name.
I'm a fan of Danger cards. They haven't really been seeing too much play, but I think that cards like Jackalope and Sushinoko can go to 2. I'm not sure if these cards are...
They're already at 2.
Already at 2. I'm pretty sure these guys are at 1, but I think that they can start making their way.
Jibril, it says 2 right there. What is he doing, chat? It literally says 2. Yeah, it says 2 on the screen.
Back up the list. I don't think that they should still be limited right now. I don't think that Dangers are necessarily the greatest.
Anyway, it literally
a little bit
Anime
power
99.
crap. We have a lot better options right now, so I think
it
that
says it
we
on
can
the
start
screen,
moving
by the way.
The Dangers up the list. Someone in my chat mentioned Spooky Dogwood. I do not think that this card is going to get banned. I think it could.
Here we go. Just. I'm gonna say this, chat, and I know you guys probably think Cap is a combo hater. I truly believe this. I think that combo players really just want to play Yu-Gi-Oh with no hand traps. Do you guys think that I'm tripping, chat? Like, if they could just ban every hand, I think that they would actually do that. We're really fucking banning Spooky Dogwood, the neg 1 card that gives you life point. Now that card's too broken. It's a blanket effect though, Cap. It's a lingering. Okay, we just can't have anything. You are bro. They freaking want Spooky Dogwood banned, BP. Like how? Like what is enough? It's never enough. What is enough for combo players to be happy? We can't fucking have Spooky Dogwood, really? And people might just say it's a time cheese card that was literally disproven at the European Championship Finals, where with 15 minutes in the game, the Tenpai player activated the card. 15 minutes. When the Ritual Beast player was done, there was still 8 minutes in the duel. The reason why the Tenpai player survived the Ritual player's turn, even under Protos, was because he had almost 30,000 life points. There was functionally no way for him to lose. So you can't just say that it is a time cheese card because that was disproven at the highest in the final game of the tournament. That was disproven. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you are a combo hater. Probably. I think that the argument of Spooky Dogwood, chat, would have had merit had that moment not happened. And it didn't just happen in some random feature match. It happened in the game 3 of the finals. So you can't say, well, Cap, that doesn't, that's just some random game at local. Nah, bro. That's the final game of the European Championship where he got hit by Protos and it just didn't matter because he had 30,000 life points. Like, okay, how you gonna kill me? You better be playing Tenpai. You better have sided into Tenpai too, because that's the only deck that can do that much damage. Anyways, if the Tenpai player was a Yubel player, it would have gotten in the time. I don't know. Play faster, man. Play faster. Cause people suddenly play faster, chat, when they're under Spooky Dogwood. Why is that?
Get banned, but I don't think that they're gonna ban Spooky Dogwood. Spooky Dogwood just really started seeing play this past weekend. Before this weekend, I don't think that this was a card that was on anybody's radar. No one was really talking about this card. It seemed like a very niche card that popped up every once in a while, for time reasons, obviously. But it's not really a card that was seeing play in every deck, Like, it was only after this weekend that we saw it seeing play in every deck. And
if I play faster, how am I going to beat your life points anyways? Well, if you play faster, if you play faster in totality, then you'll have more turns, Dolan. That's the point. Not just playing, like, don't just play faster because the situation calls for it. Just play faster in general so that the situation won't call for it. It's kind of like the idea of like always being prepared so that you're ready for anything, as opposed to like, oh, a dire situation comes up and it's like, oh, well, now I gotta try to get prepared. Nah, fuck that. You should have been prepared before. Finish Jib's video. Well, Jib's our homeboy, chat. Press 1, or Jib's our homeboy and we love him, but press 1 if this ban list is kind of like hot ass. Real talk. and this is our homeboy, chat. Like, we love Jib here, but this ban list is like kind of hot ass, to be honest. Like, he was spitting right here with like talents and cross out. I like this, but everything else has kind of been low-key trash.
Maybe that's
and these 2 cards are already fucking at 2. So I don't even know what he's talking about. Like, these 2 cards are already at 2.
Reason enough for Konami to hit it. Maybe after Sacramento, if it continues to be a trend of everyone deciding 3 Spooky Dogwood, the Spooky Dogwood could potentially get banned. But until then, I don't think that Spooky Dogwood is a card that is worth hitting.
I've never seen this emote before.
It's not a card that's worth
shaking
hitting.
my head. Yeah, this is new. I've never seen this before. Oh my god. Chad, I'm just gonna ask you: are you guys gonna make an emote of me when I shave my beard? Because I don't think I'm gonna like that, to be honest. I don't. Again, I'm apprehensive because I don't even know how I'm going to look. Yes. I mean, I'll look better than this. This is the worst shot of me. My face looks really fat. This is the worst shot of me. And plus, I do have a little bit of a beard here. And I was wearing a hat all day. That's like the worst shot that you'll ever get of me, Chad. It's like I was wearing a hat. My cheeks look really fat. You know what I mean? It just looks bad. Wear a fake attachment beard.
I think that is it for what I would like to see change. Another change that I think can happen is Sharvara to 2. I think that Sharvara can go to 2. I think that helping Unchain is really cool. I liked Unchain. I thought Unchain was a really cool deck when it was seeing play. Summon Sorcerers, yes. Like, there's a couple of cards in the OCG that they have unlimited or off the ban list that we still have banned. A card like Summon Sorceress, cards like MX Saber, Invoker is also unlimited in the OCG, or it's at 1 in the OCG. These are cards that can come off the ban list. Cards like Heavy Storm. I think Heavy Storm can also potentially come off the ban list.
I'd rather have Masterpiece than Heavy Storm.
Heavy Storm. I think Heavy Storm can also potentially come off the ban list. These are all just like cards that really won't have an impact on the meta. They can come off the ban list. Airlifter to 2, no. I don't think that we should be supporting Rescue Ace. I think that Rescue Ace is really, really powerful. But to be fair, if we ban Original, then Airlifter can go to 2. If they ban Original, then that gets rid of the whole Diabellstar engine inside of Rescue Ace, then Airlifter can go to 2, yes.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't play that anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense. If they ban Original, then Airlifter can go to 2, yes. You need to give them another Airlifter.
That deck also plays pot too.
That I would want to see on an upcoming Infinite and Forbidden list. I think Original should be banned. Same with Beatrice. Ban the important cards for the Gimmick Puppet lock or Idol lock, which it would change to.
What does Rescue Ace do that's unfair now? I mean, I gotta be honest. I always just think I just don't like the design of Turbulence, to be honest, because Turbulence just says set 4, and I'm not a fan of these cards, chat, of like these boss monsters. Like, if you resolve it, you win the game. And I'm trying to think of another deck building. I feel like there hasn't really been a deck building archetype like Rescue Ace where the boss monster is that powerful. And I understand boss monsters should be powerful, chat. But bro, look at like Caesar Valius. Look at Caesar Valius, chat, and then look at fucking Turbulence. Caesar Valius is like, once per turn non-targeting pop, cool. And then Turbulence is like, win the game. Like, what? Noir is but at least with Noir, it's like, bro, it takes like an entire turn of setup, or you have to like have this little cat go into this cat, then get this trap. Now this trap has to go into this other. Like, Turbulence just says, oh, he resolved, you win the game. Cool. You don't lose a lot of games when you resolve Turbulence, Shaq, because he gets 4 cards of value. Runic Fountain, it's not really a boss monster, is it though?
And then Shifter for all the Shifter decks. I think that Shifter decks should not be a thing. I think it's crazy that we have a classification of decks called Shifter.
You know what? There you go. I'm glad that you said it. Just say you don't like playing against these decks. There you go. Just say it.
Shifter decks, like decks that just rely on Dimensional Shifter, and when they don't draw Dimensional Shifter, then they suck. Decks like Flunderies, decks like Ritual Beast, like I don't think Ritual Beast can go second if they don't draw Shifter. Like,
then you're making the argument for me. Then you're basically saying these decks all suck outside of this one card, but I want these decks to all suck now and be unplayable. I don't get it. I don't get it. Jib is basically saying Ritual Beast shouldn't be meta because I just don't like it. Flu shouldn't be meta because I don't like it. All these other decks, Vanquish Soul, any of these decks that have even the smallest hope of being decent, chat, you just don't get to be meta anymore, or you don't even get to exist. I don't want to say meta because they're not meta. The combo agenda. So I only want there to be 2. I mean, yeah, it's just Ubel and I don't know. Ubel would probably be the best deck in this format. Maybe a Ubel Tier 0 format because, I feel like Ubel would be perfectly fine without Beatrice, but, maybe.
I think it's really hard for them to go second. As for the major limits, obviously these cards can come back. We don't care. I think that Summoning, Prosperity, and Skill Drain are the big 3 that I think should go to 1. Crossout and Tactics are kind of like, I would like them to start moving their way down the ban list, but I can see them not getting hit.
I really thought I was going to like this list.